It's like a domino effect. You do something kind for somebody, and now I'm getting kind of emotional. I'm going to walk away from Fidel because he's going to make fun of me. He's never going to stop. Look at him. He's literally laughing now. But no, it's true. You don't understand sometimes the impact that little things, what the hell is wrong with me? You don't understand sometimes the impact that little things have on people. And so, have y'all ever had something happen to where you realize if you'd been that much sooner, how things would have changed or been very, very, very different, for the better or for the worse? You ever been in a situation?
Absolutely. All the time, actually.
Well, that's not what happened here. But we do have a spooky story. I would call it spooky, even though it's not spooky. It's probably more of a miracle type story, but it's not a miracle. But it's kind of I want to tell y'all a story. Fidel and I we just finished a big day of work. We got a lot done today. And while we were working, Fidel had a confession he wanted to make. And I don't want to call it a confession. That sounds like something you'd say to a priest. It wasn't a confession, but he told me something that gave me goosebumps. And I came in and told Jamie, and she and I she cried.
I cried a lot.
I about cried, but I'm not going to. I can man up, folks. I man up. Anyway, we have to tell y'all about this, and Fidel gave me permission to talk about it. And so it was just really, really a neat thing that happened. So y'all watch this.
Whatever it takes, or if my heart breaks, I will.
So Fidel and I have made a drive over to McCoy's here in Cleveland. That's what we need right there. Walked outside to get a package. This is cute.
Look at
Fidel, the carpenter. Fidel is over here. We're just having our lunch. And this is so funny. He got a package.
he gets mail here now.
Yeah, Fidel gets mail here now. And I want you to open that, Fidel. How about open it? Oh, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Why are you nervous for, Fidel?
Nunca me habían mandado nada.
He doesn't get too many things, he says. This is funny.
Tiene que decir eso. Que nunca me habían mandado nada, por eso no será una bomba.
No, he's afraid it might be a bomb. No, I didn't send it to you, Fidel. Come on, I'm curious.
He's embracing the moment. He just said he doesn't get very many packages. Uh-oh.
It's a shirt.
Fidel Carpintero.
Says too.
Open it. I want to see this. Let me see. Turn it around.
Bendiciones.
Aww. It does say blessing.
I want to say thank you.
He wants to say thank you. That's beautiful, folks. I wish there were a name. Why don't people put names on stuff?
Sometimes they don't get to. That was from Amazon.
So Amazon doesn't always give you the option. Me and Fidel are sitting here working, and it started raining. So all the babies came inside the barn to get out of the weather. And me and Fidel were waiting for a minute for it to stop raining. And then Fidel told me something. And yeah, be careful, Fidel. Okay, so before Fidel and I started building this building, the Littles barn, I want you to know that Jamie and I drove around all afternoon one Saturday, and we were looking for companies that could do metal buildings. And the reason that we wanted to do a metal building and use one of those companies is because we thought that it would be done a lot faster. So this is the design that we would be going with. This would be for our littles. I feel like it would give them plenty of space to grow into. Jamie and I were talking. We would not want to have, because you can customize these. We would not want to have a door here. We'd want to keep that closed off. That would stay closed off. And I think that we would try to order, if we could, maybe a garage door in the front and the back, right? Yeah. And that way, good one. Oh, my son. That way, in the wintertime, we knew it was going to be about the same in price. But the problem is nobody could come. They said it was going to be at least 8 weeks, to get a crew out here. So Jamie and I decided to go ahead and call Fidel because he, hopefully could start a lot sooner and give the babies the place that they needed. We did not want to wait 8 weeks because, as you already know, we have a lot of mamas who are going to be having babies soon, and we did not want to wait 8 to 12 weeks. So I called Fidel. All right, Fidel, now it's time for your part. Let me turn the camera on you. All right, so I want Fidel to tell you what he told me, and you're going to have to just bear with the grunts and the bell ringing. Dime otra vez, Fidel, lo que me dijiste.
Pues yo nomás le compartí algo. Dije que antes de que usted me llamara para venir a construir esto, pues yo no tenía trabajo.
So let me go ahead and translate that. Fidel said that before he was able to come over and start working on the barn here, he had been out of work for a while. Okay,
Y pues yo tengo muchos gastos. Y
Hold on, ¿tienes muchos qué?
gastos.
Gansos?
Gastos.
Oh, bills. Okay. So Fidel says that he'd been out of work for a while, and he has bills, folks. He has a wife and kids and vehicle notes and something else that you guys don't know. He's building a house right now. Fidel is building his own house. You did all of that yesterday? Fidel!
Yo le puse luz.
He is doing his own lights. He got the little play area for the kids. Look at you, Fidel. So Fidel's running all of his own power. All right, well, that's good. That's what you're going to do for me. That's good. So he has bills. Okay, go ahead.
Y pues estaba preocupado porque pues no sabía cómo iba a pagar mis biles, las taxas. Y pues me llamó. Y vine aquí y Dios es grande, una gran bendición.
So let me explain that real fast. So Fidel says that he was sitting there very worried. He's been worried for a while because he has taxes that are due, and along with the bills that he has to pay, and he hasn't been working. And he said he was just really getting to that point, and we've all been there, folks. I think we've all been there. I know I have. We've all been to places where we just don't know how we're going to make ends meet. And Fidel says he was at that point when all of a sudden he got a phone call, and it was from Lester and Jamie. ¿Es todo? ¿Más? Or, yeah.
No, pues, pues si no hubiera sido por eso, por este trabajo, por este proyecto que usted me llamó, pues no hubiera salido adelante.
Careful there. Listen, y'all, he says that had he not gotten that phone call when he did to come over and help me, and obviously you guys know that we try to pay blessings forward. And so when I asked Fidel to help me and we pay him a few dollars, he says it was a blessing. It was a blessing because the things that he needed, the bills that had to get paid and the taxes that had to be paid, he said that the barn is complete now, and he's very blessed because he's been able to do all of those things. So anyway, so there's been several things that's gone on with Fidel, and he says just what a big blessing, what a major blessing that has been. So I'm gonna turn the camera back on myself now for a minute. But listen to this, folks, and think about this for a minute. I feel like I'm getting emotional, so forgive me, Fidel. This is not going to be pretty if I start crying in front of Fidel. But just picture this for a minute. Jamie and I drove around all afternoon looking for a metal building company that could come out and build this structure in a day. And we stopped at, I'm going to say 8 to 10 different places along, they're all over the place. But nobody had a crew available, and the amount of time to order the metal at a minimum was 8 weeks. And we did not want to wait 8 weeks and have our babies have their babies, without having a place to have them. So I've known Fidel for a couple of years. He's helped me do other little jobs around here. And so I just said, I'm going to just try Fidel. And it just so happened that when he got that phone call, he was also at a place, folks, where he hadn't worked in a while. He had bills that were due, taxes had to be paid, and he was sitting there. He said he wasn't able to sleep because he was so consumed with where will I get, I'm not working. What, he's living in a house that's half constructed. And so it ended up to where it was a blessing of those folks not having a crew, not having the metal to come build the barn. And that blessing contributed directly to Fidel. I mean, all of these guys are hanging around now waiting for me to put some hay down. They want a warm, cozy bed. And we'll do that. But the structure that we have built here, all is only because Fidel had the fortitude to go up there and do things that Lester couldn't do. And in doing so, he's able to pay some bills that he had to pay. You saying something else? ¿Es todo lo que quieres decir? ¿Es todo? ¿Ya?
Pues nada, que estoy agradecido con Dios, con usted.
No, well, it's not me. It's not me. He's just so thankful to God and to me, but it's not me. That's what I'm saying. It's like paying that blessing forward. It's like a domino effect. You do something kind for somebody, and now I'm getting kind of emotional. I'm going to walk away from Fidel because he's going to make fun of me. He's never going to stop. Look at him. He's literally laughing now. But no, it's true. You don't understand sometimes the impact that little things, what the hell is wrong with me? You don't understand sometimes the impact that little things have on people. And so I am so happy, as discouraged and as mad as I was at all these little rinky-dink companies that could not find a crew to come out and put together a little barn for us. Thank God, because it ended up doing something great to a really nice guy over here. And here we are. And even though our barn's not all the way painted yet, we're in the process. It rained us out today. But no, the babies have a place to go when it's cold and when it's wet. And you can see them there behind me. They're just so blessed. And so you don't realize sometimes. You don't realize what a blessing you are. So I just want to say thank you. And I want to thank Fidel for sharing that story. It's not easy to talk about stuff like that. I know it's not. But he's just been so good to us. So all I can do is just tie this experience into what we teach our kids in school. Cause and effect.
Yeah.
Because of this was the effect of that. But what some folks don't understand is there's actually something that comes before the cause. And they call that the antecedent. Hold this one, I'm going to show you on a graphic.
Okay.
So the effect is Fidel's been taken care of now. Fidel has been able to
get back on his feet.
Fidel is back on his feet. So the effect is Fidel's back on his feet. Because why? He found some help. He found, let's just say, employment. Fidel's not an employee, but
he found work.
Fidel found some work helping me get up high and doing some jobs that I couldn't do. But think about the antecedent. What led to that? The fact that you and me looked all over.
Endlessly. And made calls and reached out, did a lot of research and got nothing.
And so that right there is spooky.
It is.
Because the whole time we're doing that, Fidel is at home
praying, and trying to figure out a solution.
I mean, we've all been there. We've all struggled about, or at least I think we've all dealt with how are we going to make this ends meet.
Yeah.
And so Fidel's sitting there worried about his family, about the home that he's trying to build, about, all the things that people worry about. And the whole time you and me are out shopping for someone who can build us a barn and do it fast. We can't find that person. So we end up calling Fidel, which ends up being an answer to his prayers.
And an answer to ours, honestly. Because think of the difference in what we would have had.
A quickly prefabricated barn they threw up.
Correct.
Instead, we got something that's going to last these babies until you and me will be long gone.
Yes.
And that barn will still stand there.
It's true.
That's awesome.
A blessing in so many ways, and not just for us.
Sometimes I thank God for the barn, for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs. Just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers.